They're not going to move on their own. Get to it.
It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking, though. It's a lot better here in Frosty.
Why wouldn't they when it's true? It will be bad, I tell you.
I don't know. Seems to me it's always the same. Bad.
Well, it will be even worse. Well, I ain't so sure about that when I hear what
It was nice. Good food and drink.
Passing by in the summer. The only bit of shade. Far and wide.
That's just it. Some noble was resting under it. Not for shade, but because it was pissing down.
It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking, though. It's a lot better here in Frosty.
Let's hope the bride doesn't hear you. She might take the
Master philosopher.
It's clear as a bell. Everything was fine as long as we had a king.
We've still got a king, though.
Now, Wenceslas is worthless as a king, too,
I don't want to hear any of it. Someone will overhear.
It was nice. It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking, though. It's a lot better here in Frosty.
Someone might really take an interest in your opinion about the Chamberlain.
You're not wrong there.
By the way, you lot all think running the castle is a
That's that.
hard on folk if they tried a little harder, though. You know,
I finished hauling the sacks. What now?
how should I know? They told me to think up some job for you, so you wouldn't be idle. So if you want to pass the time, go ahead, but do it sensibly.
Well, I'd say there's plenty of work to do around here. I'll gladly help you with something.
Aye, but I've only got work in the forge, and that ain't for everyone. I'm a respected tradesman here, understand?
Well, I'm a blacksmith too, even if I don't look the part right now.
Oh, really?
Aye. My pa was a blacksmith, a respected one.
Then you might actually be some use to me. At least I wouldn't have to work my fingers to the bone all the time. I'll tell you what, go to the forge. The fire's gone cold. I haven't had much time for, well, the trade. So fire it up and make some horseshoes for Kabat. He's our groom. Always bothering me that you don't have shoes for the horses. And there's only one nag stabled here now that his lordship's away with his men.
All right. How many should I make?
How many legs does a horse have?
4.
Smart lad. We've got one horse. That's 4 times 1. But Kabat's already got 3. So that's 4 minus 3, which is...
1. All right.
You'll find everything you need in the trunk in the forge. It's there, past the gate.
All right. But I was told not to go there.
And now I'm telling you to go. And when it's done, bring it to me to check so you don't make me look bad. Off you go. Lads, this here itinerant is my new help.
Like always, he loiters around here all day, and when you need him, he vanishes like the wind. Where's that fool of a blacksmith? Crucifix! Where's that blacksmith?
God bless. God be with you.
I should move it.
That damned wretch!
Your only begotten son took upon himself our wrongdoing and showed us the power of enduring pain with joy. Look down upon our Captain Thomas with a father's love, and upon all he suffered.
Where's that fool of a blacksmith? Where's that fool of a blacksmith?
Good to see you, friend.
I have to hammer it more
Like
evenly.
always, he loiters around here all day, and when you need him, he vanishes like the wind.
Well, I'm about halfway done. I should do it more evenly.
Crucifix! Where's that blacksmith?
I have to hammer it more evenly.
Like always, he loiters around here all day, and when you need him, he vanishes like the wind.
Merciful God, grant that our Captain Thomas may recover. I beg you, whatever wounds we heal,
Crucifix!
you take him
Where's
to
that
your
blacksmith?
welcome him in to your heavenly kingdom. Take him to your bosom, for he is a good Christian and a fine man. Amen.
That miserable blacksmith. Where is he now? That miserable...
What's the matter, good wife? Why are you standing here grumbling?
Because of that damn blacksmith. I'm waiting here for him like for Judgment Day. The lock on my spice chest is stuck, and Sir Otto will be back any time. How am I to bake gingerbread without ginger, eh?
How can the blacksmith help you?
How do you think? He always takes this bit of wire and opens the chest for me, and then he promises to change the lock for 3 years now.
But the blacksmith is just around the corner.
I know he is, only he tells me to wait, that he's got more important things to do.
Seems to me he's just talking.
I wouldn't be surprised, the lazy wretch. But what can I do? I'm just a loudmouth cook, so I have to wait.
Can I help you somehow?
No, unless you can pick a lock. And decent folk don't know how to do that.
Sure. Let's have a look at that chest and I'll get to it. As it happens, I know how to deal with locks.
It's in the castle cellars. Follow me. My time is precious, seeing as how his lordship will be back any time.
Yeah, but I'm not allowed there. I was told to stay in the courtyard.
Never mind that. You're going with me and you're helping me. Come along. What a day. I burned the rue in the morning, and then the girls...
Have you seen Erazim the Scribe?
Fanka the cook sent me.
Jesus Christ, God protect us from all evil. What does that harpy want?
She's not able to open the spice chest.
Again? She's a bloody nuisance.
She told me you always open it with some implement. I'll gladly do it if you tell me where to find one.
Jesus, why do you even talk to that woman?
I'm supposed to help out around here.
What of it? I already let you into the forge anyway. There's this small red pot on a shelf there with some lockpicks in it. But I don't suppose you know how to use one.
As it happens, I do.
I'd rather not ask where you learned. Although you just got out of jail, though, eh? Just don't get up to any funny business with them.
Sure. About that horseshoe.
Well, did you get it done?
Yeah. Here.
Well, what are you standing around here for? I told you to take it to Kabat.
No. You told me to bring it and show it to you.
You're a smart one, eh? Well, now I'm telling you to go to Kabat with it. He's our groom. Most likely he'll be idling by the upper stables, the grouch. Just between the two of us, he's a very unpleasant fella. Unlike me.
I can't wait. The first bell. Another 11 to go. Do you know how I can get up to the chapel?
You can't. Only his lordship and his family go there. And of course, Father Nicodemus. Usually, that is. Only now, Captain Thomas is lying there. He's at death's door. God save him.
I understand.
God be with you. Thank you kindly, young man. If you want to get a bite to eat, stop by the kitchen.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead and help Rams and mash eggs.
It was nice. Good food and drink.
Greetings. What brings you here so early in the morning?
I was told to come and ask you for a job.
Nice timing. Do you know anything about carpentry?
No, blacksmithing is more my field.
Ah, well, that's handy. I got the job of fixing up this here scaffold so it don't collapse when we hang that poacher. But the whole thing is fucked. I need a good carpenter's axe. There's one broadaxe in the shed, but it's as blunt as a file. Of course, Osina didn't find time all year to hone the thing.
I could help you with that.
You could. Well, that'd be great. Go and get it from the shed, sharpen it, and bring it back to me.
Sure thing. Here it is. Hope it's good.
Sharp as a skinning knife. Nice. Without your help, the scaffold could well collapse under that poacher. And nobody wants that.
And then the execution would be postponed.
I doubt it. We're not going to make a show out of it like they do in Prague. But someone would have to get their hands dirty, and no one fancies that.
Understandably.
Anyway, thanks. I can't afford to fuck things up today. The Chamberlain is as tetchy as the devil.
Isn't he always?
Yeah, but even more today. Anna the laundress said he's got bellyache. Everyone is avoiding him like the plague.
Aha. Would you happen to know how I can get into the Maiden?
And what would you want in there?
I want to pray in the chapel. And they don't want to...
The chapel, eh? Well, I'll be damned. I know one hand by the name of Binyek that wanted into the castle too, but for a damn different reason.
And did he succeed? In getting in, I mean?
Aye, he did. He climbed down into the well in the courtyard. See, there's caves under Tursky, and the well ain't actually a well, but an underground pool in one of them caves. And from there, you can get to the dungeons and then into the Maiden.
Oh, he sounds bold.
Oh, aye, but they still caught him and gave him a whipping. And when they found out how he done it, they took the cleats out of the well wall.
What does that mean?
That the next Binyek would have to jump in and not climb down. I wouldn't fancy that.
Indeed. What was Binyek after in the castle?
A certain buxom chambermaid who wouldn't give him what he was after in the hay and wanted a fine feather bed.
I'll be going.
I've... Take care, friend. Good day.
Greetings. You two.
Brought you those horseshoes. I mean, horseshoe.
That took long enough. I've only got one horse here and I've got nothing to shoe him with. And you know who gets in the shit over it?
You?
Exactly. Mistakes are punished here, so either I'd end up reduced to beggary, or I'd have to go back to what I was doing before. And I wouldn't like that.
What did you do before?
You're a bit inquisitive, ain't you?
Well, I get the feeling you're actually proud of it.
Let's just say I haven't always made an honest living. Is that enough for you?
Not quite. I'd also like to know if you've still got any tools.
I might be able to find something, but I'll tell you, it won't come cheap.
Let's see what you've got.
Take care then, and thanks for nothing.
It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough free girls.
Sir, I want to ask you something.
You? What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be helping outside in the courtyard? Christ! First you cause mayhem at a noble wedding, and now you go snooping around where you shouldn't.
I noticed, sir, that something is troubling you. I could help you.
How could a vagabond like you help me?
Sir, I might not look the part, but I've read a lot.
Don't waste my time with your jokes, you nobody. What would you be able to read?
Species de keep it, sir. Looks can deceive. As it happens, I've read many Latin and other texts. For example, the etymologies of Isidore of Seville, the writings of Abbess Hildegard of Bingen, and the Herbarium de Horis Sanitatis, De Materia Medica, and others.
Well, you really surprise me, lad.
Anyway, I'll examine you and try to make a diagnosis.
Yes, that should help.
With your permission, I'll examine you, sir.
What? Here and now?
Don't worry, I'll just have a look at you. You don't have to lie down or strip.
I'm glad to hear it.
You're quite pale and rather sweaty.
When it comes upon me, I sweat a lot.
Your eyes are all right. Do you have ringing in your ears?
No.
Do your hands shake?
Well, I'm not the youngest, but it's nothing too bad.
All right. Tell me, sir, what do you usually eat?
Well, I often eat from the banquet table.
So, a lot of roasted game?
Yes, and pâtés, goose, duck. I dine as befits my status.
I see. Tell me, Master Chamberlain, does it hurt all the time, or does it come in waves?
No, not all the time. More like I get attacks.
Uh-huh. And these attacks, have you noticed whether something sets them off?
Well, it's worse when I get upset.
And does it get worse in autumn, when it gets colder?
Yes, it's usually worst in October. Then I don't even have to get upset for it to start.
All right, that makes sense. Did you get advice from anyone about it? Have you tried anything for the pain?
Well, I talked to our surgeon. He just said it was odd and told me nothing more. So I went to Kolin to see Professor Joachim Bavorsky, and he advised me.
Yes? What?
It's a little awkward for me to talk about, I must admit.
Master Chamberlain, I'm here as a practitioner of the medical arts. You can rest assured that whatever you tell me will remain between us.
All right. The professor spoke at length about Jupiter and the houses, and then he told me that my bodily humours are out of balance.
I would expect so. And what did he recommend?
Well, that I should get more silver into my body. So I wear more silver jewellery and, when there's a full moon, I go to the meadow here below the castle, naked.
Really? So you're taking it quite seriously. And has it worked?
No, but there'll be a full moon soon, so I could damn well use some other advice.
I understand. Sir, I'm afraid you have a stomach ulcer. If it's not treated, you could even die of it.
Good God! What should I do?
The main thing is a strict diet. No fatty or heavy foods. In other words, nothing from the banquet table. You have to eat boiled white meat, poultry or fish, lots of vegetables, and gruel.
Gruel? Like a...
Yes, like the common folk. And another thing, you mustn't get angry, under any circumstances.
What? I mean, what?
That's the way. Oh, and I'll get you a herbal potion. I know exactly what will do you good.
Can't you get me that potion right now?
I don't have the required remedy, but I could brew it. Only I don't have the apparatus for that. And also, I could use some medical literature.
Don't worry about that. Our surgeon is also often at a loss. I expect you'll find everything you need in his study. It's upstairs in the Crone. That's the second tower. Now we're under the Maiden. Do you know how to get there?
I think so, but I was told to stay only in the outer courtyard. I wouldn't want to get in trouble.
Trouble? I'm the one who has trouble. Don't worry. Tell them I sent you. Just go, for heaven's sake.
All right. I'll go and get something for you.
Good. If you'd be so kind... Oh!
If you're after
The
some
second toll
leftovers,
for hands.
the kitchen's up top. I don't think there's much there.
And if you scrub you're after, you'll have to wait. I've been here for...
You?
Who are you, actually?
Me? I'm just cleaning here.
What's your name?
What's it to you?
Nothing. It's just common manners that people introduce themselves to others.
Well, I always was an unmannerly girl, so tough luck.
And what were you doing at the pond, then?
I thought we straightened that out the last time you bothered me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
We both know you're lying. The question is, why?
Says someone who was just sitting in a jail cell and will end up right back there if anyone calls the guards on him.
You know I was locked up? For such an uncaring girl, your interest is a bit suspicious.
Right. I spend the whole day following you and the arrogant fool around, spying on you.
That's exactly what I think.
Well, think again. You? What in God's name are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same question.
I work here, genius.
third toll. I'd better get moving. Those nettles needed a lower flame. The fourth bell.
Irish scrub you're after. You'll have to wait.
And when that's all done...
Sir, about those health problems.
Yes?
I have exactly what you need, sir. Sir, I'd recommend that you take this digestive potion to settle your stomach. Take it after every meal. And don't forget, a good diet, and do not get upset.
All right. Thanks, then.
And now you ought to go and lie down, sir.
Lie down? Me? Ha! Without me, this place would grind to a standstill.
Sir, medicine isn't enough. You also need rest. Otherwise, my potion won't have much effect.
Oh, all right, then. I'll try it.
And another thing. I don't want to bother you, sir, but I have a question.
Yes? What is it?
I've always wanted to take a look at your chapel. I'm a great admirer of the master who painted the altar there.
Oh, go where you want. I'll inform the guards.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Pardon me for disturbing you, miss.
If you want to pray, go somewhere else. The chapel is closed. Unless you're a priest. Which I presume you're not.
No, I'm not. My name is Henry.
I'm Adela, Thomas's sister. What is it you want, Henry?
I need to talk to your brother.
No chance of that. He's been lying in a fever for 3 days. And the surgeon is away with Sir Otto. Unless he returns soon, Thomas won't be talking to anyone ever again.
What actually happened to him?
They were attacked by bandits by the pond. His mare, Arrow, brought him home. He was completely out of it. And little wonder, the way he was hacked up. If the surgeon was here, he'd be in his care. Some of his wounds have healed, but now he has a fever. He's been bedridden for 3 days.
I'm sorry. Oh, Christ. But this is a matter of life and death. Thomas is the only one who can testify to what happened.
Yes, it's a matter of life and death for my brother. I want him to rest. Besides which, he's delirious and can't tell you anything.
I heard that your brother is lying in a fever, so I brought something for him that might help.
Really? I don't know what to say. And I was against dragging Thomas to the chapel. I felt it would only burden him more.
God moves in mysterious ways. We ought to administer it to him quickly.
Yes, of course. His fever is getting worse. If this doesn't work, I don't think he'll last long.
you all to be vigilant. These days we have all sorts of vagabonds, drifters, outlaws, and bandits roaming the country. And we have one of those vermin here today. A fella called Hans, who is clearly not right in the head. A dangerous madman, a brawler, and a thug. The worst of all, a poacher. And so, for the damages he caused to our dear Lord Otto von Berghoff, he is sentenced to be hanged by the neck until dead.
Stop! You can't execute this man. He's a noble. Captain Thomas here will testify that we're messengers from Rattay.
What is this nonsense, for Christ's sake?
It's true. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein.
Deal with it, for God's sake.
But, sir, the captain...
Captain Thomas has a fever. He's clearly delirious. Seize them immediately.
You can't do this. I am a nobleman, do you hear? A noble! Get your hands off me! You can't do this!
Open the gates!
My lord.
What the hell is going on?
It was just a... It's a hanging.
You can't hang him. He's a noble.
That's for me to judge. Take him down! And for Christ's sake, help me off this horse!
You may enter. His lordship is expecting you.
So, you're messengers from Rattay, huh? I was wondering when someone would turn up. All right, then. Let's hear it.
My respects, Sir Otto. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, and this is Henry of Skalitz, my escort.
Welcome to Trotsky, gentlemen. I'd greet you standing up as befits, but I'm glad I can even sit at the moment.
I heard you were ambushed by outlaws.
You heard right. Those bastards did a job on me. And I got out luckier than most. Almost all the others were killed, including my page and my surgeon. So there is no one here to heal me, and I will have to inform poor Albert's father that his son died in my service.
I hope your health will soon be restored, sir.
We shall see. But now,
you tell me what happened here in Herrgottsnamen. Why did my chamberlain try to hang you, Lord Capon?
In truth, the welcome we got from your Master Chamberlain was somewhat... how shall I put it?
Your Chamberlain's welcome was appropriate enough, considering our appearance, the situation in your domain, and your orders, sir.
Ah. I appreciate your diplomacy, young man. Master Chamberlain Ulrich can sometimes be more hasty and passionate than is healthy. And we are glad you hold no grudge against him. Are we not, Ulrich?
I regret what happened, gentlemen. Please accept my humblest apologies.
Anyway, let us leave this misunderstanding aside and get to the point. As far as I'm aware, Ratai showed no interest in negotiations before, either with me or with the League of Lords.
True. Our houses have thus far stood on opposite sides.
I should say so. Attacking Brno and Jihlava together with that renegade Sokol of Lemberg hardly inspired our sympathy.
But we can all point the finger. Your League of Lords, on the other hand, abducted the king. Although I don't doubt your reasons, just as Sir Hanush did.
We certainly had. The main one being that your Wenzel is an irresponsible drunkard and idler who is hurting the Empire by his inactivity. But let us leave that aside. Tell me, what does Sir Hanush have on his mind? I'm all ears.
Unfortunately, during the ambush, we lost the letter we were carrying, so you'll have to make do with my word of mouth.
All right. Go ahead and speak.
In brief, Sir Hanush, Sir Radzig, and other lords take the view that the situation has got out of control. And that's of no benefit to anyone in Bohemia, neither Wenceslas's supporters or the League of Lords. King Sigismund's actions will not lead to instilling greater order than under King Wenceslas. Quite the contrary.
Let us say that maybe. What arises from it?
Sir Hanush and the other lords on our side are interested in knowing what the stance of the League of Lords is at this moment, and whether they haven't perhaps reevaluated some things.
In other words, whether I might betray Sigismund.
Well, betray is a strong word. We came to you, Sir Otto, because you're the leading voice of the League of Lords. I expect there are also lords among your ranks who are considering how to find a way out of this sticky situation. And for the Kingdom of Bohemia, it would certainly be better if our paths were to join rather than parting.
Your companion speaks like a diplomat, Sir Hans. However, the question is whether it's possible to join fire with water and end up with anything but nasty smoke. Nonetheless, Sir Hanush and Sir Radzig are right. There is disorder and anarchy in the land. Bandits riding roughshod all over. As we all know, to our cost.
We've had plenty of experience of that at home too, sir. Only a short time ago we had to deal with a similar band.
Then you will surely understand that before I begin debating who would be the better king, I must sweep my own doorstep. Only I'm damned if I know how to do that, since those bastards have wiped out half of my garrison, including my captain.
If I may be so bold, sir, you're not the only one. We also have a score to settle with them, so Henry and I will gladly help you.
Is that so? Now that is what I call the words of a knight, Sir Hans.
Right now, we've got a common enemy, so we have common interests too.
So then, sir, may we be of assistance to you?
Indeed you may. Perhaps in the end we may really find some common ground. I need to muster sufficient reserves to deal with those outlaws once and for all. I'm summoning my vassals here to Trotsky. And since I don't have many men left to send as messengers, I will gladly accept your help.
Just say the word, sir. Where should we go?
You'll go to Nebakov, a small castle, or rather fortress among the cliffs. The yeoman there, Jaromir Nebak, is an old hardhat and may not be very willing to fulfill his obligations. It would be useful if an eloquent noble like yourself visited him to explain him clearly why I need his whole garrison.
Who is this Lord Nebak?
The lord of a smaller house with not much in the way of estates, just a fortress and lands, but he also owns a mill that provides a significant part of his income. His children are grown up. His daughter married well, thanks to Sir Otto. His son is away from the domain, dealing with duties. Sir Otto helped him to acquire an official position. In short, the House of Nebak is more than beholden to Sir Otto for his magnanimous help and support.
Thank you, Ulrich. Nevertheless, I suspect Jaromir will not be keen to charge into battle. But that is of little consequence. Here's a few good men who will be useful. That will do us. If he delivers, I will regard his obligation as fulfilled.
What should we do if he's unwilling to heed what we say?
His house has always been loyal to mine, and it has always been more than worth their while. So tell him that I would like it to remain so. I do not expect any great obstacles, but it would be wise to show Sir Jaromir respect by sending him someone of status. He will take his time over being persuaded and then concur, as he always has done.
I'll get to him somehow, sir.
I expect nothing less from you.
Is the route safe?
As I said, the fortress is in the wilderness amongst the cliffs. There are many places where outlaws may be hiding, so watch out.
Don't worry, sir. I have Henry here by my side for such situations.
Is that all, sir?
It's no simple task. Knowing Jaromir, if I sent a common messenger, he'd come back with a boot print on his backside. Dealing with the lower nobility can be tricky. They tend to be fixated on their own somewhat fragile status.
We'll take care of it, sir. Count on us.
All right. We'll head out as soon as possible. Let's not delay our diplomatic mission unnecessarily.
Very well. I think that is all for now. The Chamberlain will show you where you can put your heads down, and he will supply you with horses. And once we have resolved this little digression, we shall talk about your own mission.
Thank you, sir.
May I ask something, Sir Otto?
Oh. Ask away, young man.
When you were ambushed, did you see those bandits? Would you recognize any of them?
Henry, don't start with that again.
Why do you ask?
The thing is, when we were ambushed, I believe I saw among them one of the men we ran up against at home.
Oh. What did he look like? Do you know his name?
He's called István Toth, a Hungarian noble. He wears black armor, a stocky fella, around 40.
I've already told you that's nonsense. How would he be here? You only saw him from a distance, from behind. You're imagining it.
And why does this Toth interest you, young man?
He was the leader of a band that made trouble for us in Sasau. And he has something that belongs to me.
Ah, interesting. Interesting. But I must disappoint you. I saw no one of that description.
Thank you, sir. And sorry. I had to ask.
I understand. And now I shall entrust you to the care of Uri here. And I shall look forward to the good tidings you bring me from Nebakov. Go with God, gentlemen.
Thank you for everything, sir. The Lord be with you.
There will be time enough yet for social niceties. Now there are more practical matters to deal with. Sir Otto has generously agreed to accommodate Lord Capon in one of his chambers. And you, Henry, shall also be accommodated, as befits your station. There, your equipment shall also be returned to you, and you'll find your horse in the stable. Nevertheless, his lordship takes the view that, as a noble's escort, you should have a befitting mount, and therefore he has kindly decided that you may take one of our horses, if you so wish. Gentlemen, follow me. So, Sir Hans, allow me to...
Hold on, Sir Ulrich. If you think everything is settled between us and we're going to act like nothing happened, then you're mistaken.
Sir?
You were going to have me executed a short while ago. I expect a proper apology.
Then please accept my apology once more, sir. But given the circumstances...
Given the circumstance? What circumstances?
Sir, poaching is a capital offence.
And are you the king? That you can hand down death sentences? No, you are not. What's more, you had plenty of reasons to realise it wasn't a good idea.
Sir, I could not have realised that.
You couldn't have realised? Yes, you could, but then you wouldn't have been able to play the Lord and stage private executions.
Sir, once more I apologise. And now, please allow me to show you to your quarters.
I wouldn't dream of inconveniencing you. I'll find my quarters by myself. Henry, once you're done with that annoying fool, get your horse and we'll meet at the gate.
Well, it seems Lord Capon will not be requiring my services anymore today.
Please excuse him. He's been through a lot, as I'm sure you understand.
It is understandable, of course. I was just hoping that our relationship would be a bit warmer after that, regrettable misunderstanding. Nevertheless, welcome to Trotsky, the finest and biggest castle you shall ever see. Rumor has it that the castle was built on the jaws of hell, and that we're sometimes plagued by demons here. But don't believe a word of it. It's just idle talk to excuse the servants' laziness and incompetence. It's demanding enough keeping everything here running smoothly without any of that. It requires a man of exceptional qualities and talents. By the way, this place is a maze for strangers. It's very easy to get lost. The jail cells are down there. But I believe you are already fairly well acquainted with that part of the castle, aren't you?
All too well, thanks.
Here it is. You'll find a bed inside, opposite the door, and a chest where we put your belongings. You'll find some new clothing there, a little gift from our gracious lord, to ensure you're not mistaken for a beggar again. Once you're settled in and properly dressed, stop by the stables. They're beyond the gate, down the path. Ask for Kabat. He was supposed to prepare a horse and tack for you, or tell him you'll keep your own if you insist. Then he'll give you proper tack at least, so you don't disgrace us.
Thanks. I'm grateful.
As you should be. So, you and I are finished, and I can finally attend to some proper work, so this castle doesn't fall on our heads.
Here you go. Take it.
Good doggy.
I'm here for some horse tack. I hear you have something for me.
Well, fuck me blind. You got out of jail yesterday, and today you've got a horse. Fuck, I wouldn't mind having your kind of luck. But you're fucking things up for me and making a mess. And I don't want to get a whipping on your account. I've got the tack ready, but I've been ordered to show you our herring first. You can take him, they said. So kindly take a look at him in the stable here and tell me if you want him or not. See you later, my friend.
I took a look.
And?
I'll take him.
Good. He ain't the fastest, but he'll work his little heart out and he'll keep going for fucking ages. And he's a well-behaved, smart animal as well. An honest stock, too. From the Sameen stud farm. Not one of them stolen nags that's seen around these parts. I've heard that wind is blowing from them dodgy nomads.
So I heard.
Well, let's not forget about your horse. He's there in the stables, so go and get him. You do know how to ride, don't you?
Ah, don't worry. I'm right at home with horses. I learned to ride with cumans on my tail and arrows whistling past my head. A tough school it was.
Well, I'll be damned. I never heard such a thing before. But even an experienced horseman like you needs equipment, as you well know. You can tack him up yourself, right?
Sure. Thanks.
Take care.
I heard they're going to cut down the old oak at the crossroads.
Oh, no!